Hello, Fat Grandma here. It is Sunday, February 18th. If you have not been here before, my name is Paula. I have a small eBay store. I was selling on Poshmark, then I paused my store. I have reopened it. I did that about 3 weeks ago. Have not had any sales on Poshmark. I've had some interest on some items, but no one has purchased anything. I have been over on District for a couple of months now, and I had a few sales in the very beginning. I've had no activity on District at all. I think that the majority of people who have success on Poshmark and on District are people who do live shows. And I think that's just the way that those platforms are handling it, and I can't do live shows right now. So at some point, whenever I end up moving, I will have a setup so that I can do live shows. But until then, this is what you get. So anyway, and I did want to, again, thank all of my subscribers. I have gotten some messages from YouTube, regarding things that I can do. I can add subscriptions and stuff like that. I don't know if you see any buttons or new things under my videos where you can join or things like, just ignore them. I don't want anybody paying extra, to whatever. I don't have anything extra to offer at this point that would be a benefit for like joining or doing whatever it is that, but I hit some kind of a plateau where if you sign up, or filled out all the stuff through YouTube, then you have these extras that can be done by your viewers, and I don't want anybody paying for anything. So, just ignore those. If it gets to the point where I have something that I can offer you guys, if you're a member, like if we're gonna, maybe I'll at some point do a live chat where I would go live and people can ask me questions, or we can talk about specific things, and it would just be members only. I might do something like that. But until that happens, just ignore any little extras that you see down there. I don't want anybody paying for anything. I'm not one of those people who, I will list things down below, things that I use, and links to those things on Amazon. I do have an Amazon affiliate thing. So if you use those links below and you go to Amazon and you purchase any of those things, I will get a small percentage. I don't even know what it is. But I don't sell things to my viewers. I don't sell, classes, or I will never do that kind of stuff. I know that there's people that do, and that's their thing, It's just, that's not what I'm here for. So, and I will never try to sell you things. And if I ever get to the point where I'm approached by a company to do an advertisement or whatever for their product, it's going to have to be pretty amazing for me to even bother doing that. So, that's probably not going to happen. Anyway, all of that said, I have had 33 sales now since I did my last solds video, which was on, I believe, the 28th of January. So these sales are from the 29th through today, so the 18th. So it's exactly 3 weeks worth of sales. It's pretty much right in line, although I had a handful of sales that brought the dollar amount up a little bit. Otherwise, it was really in the toilet. The sales that I was getting were very low dollar. Everything was well below $15, below $10. They were very, very small dollar amount sales. So that happened quite a bit, but I did have a handful of sales, and I'll talk about them as I get to them. So Anyway, I'm going to try to hurry through these. If you guys have been here before, you know I'm not very good at this, so at hurrying, but I do try. Anyway, okay, I'm trying to get my cheat list adjusted so that I can whiz through this stuff to share with you guys. All right, the first two items were one sale. It was two Disney Mickey Mouse Splash ceramic dinner pasta bowls. And I got these at the 99-cent only store. I paid right around $5 a piece for them. And anyway, both bowls sold for $19.78, and the buyer paid $7.66 in shipping. Oh, if I forgot to tell you about this. If you hear what sounds like rain in the background, it's because I have my television on YouTube on a channel that just plays rain sounds, so that it drowns out any sounds coming from the kitchen or the living room. If you've been around, you know why I do that. So if you hear the rain, that's why. It's not raining here in Phoenix. Okay, back to the solds. The next item I sold was a Burton and Burton mug, and it said, "I'm a mom, what's your superpower?" And it looked like a Burton item. The design on it, you could just tell that it was a Tim Burton item. Anyway, it sold for $5.79. I've had it in my store forever. Shipping paid was $7.26. They paid more for shipping than they did for the mug. Next item I sold was a Schaefer Dairy stoneware milk pitcher, and it was 7 inches tall, so it wasn't big. I've had this listed for quite a while. It sold for $7.50, and shipping was $7.14. Let's see, the next item I sold, and I do not remember where these came from. I have no clue. If they came in a lot of a bunch of stuff, I think that's where I got them. But again, I do not remember. They were 7 Sunbeam stovetop reflector bowls. They were the range drip pans for electric burners. And they were new old stock. They were all brand new. Anyway, they have been listed for a very, very long time. They finally sold for $8.50, and shipping paid was $11.42. The next items I sold were 3 baby bottles. They were the Event brand 9-ounce baby bottles, Airflex valve silicone nipple for 1 month or older. They sold for $5, and shipping was $6.12. I got an offer on them. Another item that had been listed for a while. So let's see. The next item I sold was 12 white cotton cloth napkins that had pink flowers and blue scalloped edges. They sold for $6.99, and shipping paid was $6.93. I got a weird question on those, and it was sometimes the questions just annoy me. So I got a question on them. They wanted to know if any of them were stained, and if you right underneath the price, there's a condition, where you can put the condition in. And I said that some of the napkins, a couple of the napkins had discoloration. So, it's like, don't ask me read stuff, So anyway, they got blocked. So they're not the ones that bought them, but somebody asked me a question about them, and then within a couple of days, they sold to someone else. So, just read what people put in their listings. Some people don't put anything. I've looked at other people's listings, and sometimes they give no information, and I'm like, how do you even sell anything? The next item I sold, and this came out of my mother's kitchen months ago, and it has been listed for a long time. Do not buy these to sell on eBay. 1993 Westwood Kids Fireman, Police, and Doctor and Nurse Campbell's Soup Mug. It was a 14-ounce mug. Sold for $5.79, and shipping was $10.21. I think I have 1 or 2 mugs left. I had a whole bunch of them that we dug out of my mother's pantry in the kitchen, and they've been selling a little bit here and there, but they're not worth much, and it takes a long time for them to sell. So don't waste your time unless you just have them laying around and you want to get rid of them. Then list them and just wait. They will sell. It just takes a while, and you don't get a lot of money out of them. The next item I sold, and this came in a lot that I purchased that had just a bunch of random crap in it, and it was a package of disposable Good Nights bed mats, and there were 9 of them. The package had been torn open a little bit, so I'd reduced the price. Anyway, they sold for $6.50, and shipping was $10.93. Anything. I mean, really, if you have random weird stuff, just list it, and it'll probably sell. It might take a while, but somebody will buy it, you know? Let's see. The next item I sold. Oh, what is this? It was a trivet. It was a trivet. I don't know if you've been around, you know that I purchased a lot of tiles and trivets, and I didn't pay very much for them. And I sold 2 out of that lot for quite a decent amount of money. So everything else has just been, I mean, I made profit from the lot from that first sale, and I've been slowly selling other tiles from that lot. Anyway, this one was let's see, a Zupal palm ball. I can't talk today. Hand painted Portugal ship with clouds, birds. It was a ceramic tile, 6 by 6 inches, sold for $8.49, and shipping was $7.23. And these tiles, what I've been doing, instead of putting them in a box, which is ridiculous because it's one little tile, I've been putting a piece of cardboard, because I cut flaps off when I resize boxes. When I Frankenstein a box, I'll cut the flaps off to make the box smaller so that I don't have to put as much filler in. And so I save those flaps. And some of the flaps are large enough that they will cover the full size of a tile. I put a piece of cardboard on either side. First I wrap them in bubble wrap, the small bubble wrap. Then I put a piece of cardboard on either side, tape that in place so that the cardboard doesn't move around. There's no tile exposed on any of the corners or anything. Then I put big bubble wrap, the thicker bubble wrap, or the larger bubbles, you know. Then I wrap it with that also. Then I put them in a poly bag. And so far, so good. So that's how I've been shipping the tiles, you know. Anyway, again, it was $8.49 and $7.23 in shipping. The next item I sold, and this is something else that was in a big lot with a bunch of other crap, was a flowers and lily pads frogs with frogs, bejeweled, and it was a very heavy metal picture frame. It held like a 5 by 3.5 inch photo. It was really cool, but it was obnoxiously heavy. Sold for $11.59, and shipping was $8.15. Let's see, the next item I sold was a Valentine's Sweetheart teddy bear. It was from 2019. This is one of those Walmart bears that has a date on the foot, the year. Anyway, it's been listed for a while. It sold for $7.99, and shipping was $7.14. That got crammed in a poly bag. Next item was an Imperial Glass 2-piece, and I cannot say this word, Epergine centerpiece crocheted crystal with a lace edge. It was 12 inches. This thing was obnoxiously huge. It was just, I think I got it in an auction lot, paid like $5 for it. Anyway, it sold for $20, and the shipping was $13.70. And it has gotten there safely. I was surprised. I did not know if it was going to make it there in one piece, but it did. So that was okay. Let's see. The next item I sold was an Asian floral bamboo round trinket dish, porcelain, lidded blue and white. Takahashi was the name. Anyway, it was just a little round trinket dish, wasn't very big, and sold for $10, and shipping was $6.09. The next item I sold was a Red Duck Pottery, Sedona, Arizona, small bud vase. It was a drip, ceramic drip. I forget what it's called. Anyway, it was brown with blue on it. It was really pretty, but you had to have it in the lighting just right to see the colors. It was only 3 inches tall. Sold for $8.79, and shipping was $6.93. We are almost halfway done. The next item I sold was a small vintage wooden chest style trinket box with a latch. And I got this at a yard sale for $1. Sold for $10, and the shipping paid was $5.87. Let's see. The next item I sold was another trivet or tile. It was a Norwegian dining prayer. trivet decorative ceramic 6x6 Berquist imports, sold for $9.99, and shipping was $6.16. And again, it got shipped in a poly bag, but it was packaged in cardboard and bubble wrap, before it went into the poly bag. Let's see. Next item is a Chinese. There were two of these, but I can't remember if they sold to the same. I think they sold to the same person. Not positive. Anyway, Chinese minority group Woodcraft Doll. They were ethnic dolls from China. They're different ethnic groups. Like we have different tribes of Native Americans here in the United States. They have different groups of people in China. Same thing. Anyway, one of the dolls sold for $12.80, and the other one sold for $8.58. And shipping paid, I did not come. It was combined on the thing, but the shipping that they paid was $7.84 on one of them and $5.25 on the other one. So, just add that together. Anyway, I think I paid $5 a piece at the most for these dolls. So it was a decent amount of profit. Not huge, but I made my money back and I made some profit, so it's okay. The next item I sold was a Stargate SG-1 series, seasons 1 through 6 in box sleeves, and 7 through 8 were in cases. Plus, there were 2 movies in with all the seasons, and so there were a total of 42 DVDs. They sold for $16.99, and shipping was $8.83. I think I paid around $6 for the whole kit and caboodle. So, not horrible. And I only had them listed for, I don't know, a little over a month maybe, so it wasn't too bad. Let's see. The next item I got at one of those bin stores. I found a random one in a weird location, and I just was like, well, I'll stop in and see what they have. They didn't really have bins. They had shelves like a normal store with stuff sitting on them. Anyway, it's called Brainwright by the Book, and it was a stacking puzzle for kids. Anyway, I paid, I think, $4 or $5 for this thing, and it sold for $11.99. So, $11.99, and then shipping was $10.21. The next item I sold, and this item came in a big lot with a bunch of random crap. It's another one of those lots where just weird stuff was in it. It was an Aspen Bay green pine cone candle. Trimming the tree was the smell or the scent. And these candles came with a little plate. Anyway, I paid $5 for the lot. Then it had several things in it. I think I've got 3 things still listed. This candle, just by itself, sold for $27, and the shipping was $7.26, and I took an offer on it. They sell for over $30. I wanted to get rid of it before summer hits and I even put in the auction that I would not sell. I was going to pull the listing once May rolled around, because I will not ship a candle during the summertime, not from Phoenix, because it'll be goo by the time it gets anywhere. Anyway, so that was a good sale. And now anything else that sells from that lot is just pure profit. And I made some profit on the lot just from this candle. So if you happen to see any of the Aspen Bay candles and they're in the box, unused, it was in really good condition. It had been kept in a cool place, you could tell just by looking at it. You'll see a photo, But and it smelled good, but they've discontinued this kind, and I think the company sold out to someone else, so they're hard to find. Anyway, the next item I sold, and this was just a random thing that was in a box with some other random crap in a lot, was a used 1990s Coleman propane stove regulator. And it had a part number 5430. It sold for $9.99, and shipping was $6.07. Just weird stuff, And I got an offer. Somebody sent me an offer of like $4, and I was like, no. And then they were snotty with me, so I blocked them. And then someone else came along and bought it. So I was like, whatever. I love when that happens. Okay, the next item I sold, and these were retail arbitrage, were an ombre blue and purple, with white snowflakes. They were soup mugs. It was a set of 2. They were got them at the 99-cent store. I think I paid $1.29 or $2 a piece for them. So I didn't do great on them, but They sold, and I did sell another set, but we'll get to that. Anyway, they sold for $8. Shipping was $11.93 for those 2 mugs. The next item I sold was a vintage hand-blown amber glass dinner bell, and it had a glass clapper inside. It was 6.5 inches tall. I picked this up at a yard sale for $1. Anyway, it sold for $8.50, and shipping was $9.52. And that's actually going to the post office on Tuesday because tomorrow's a holiday, which I had forgotten about. Okay, next item I sold, we're almost getting there. I'm trying, was a shamrock gnome couple. These were also retail arbitrage. St. Patrick's Day resin figures, 5.5 inches tall. They were brand new. I paid, I want to say $3 for both of them, somewhere around there. Anyway, they sold for $11.99. Shipping was $7.09. So somebody got some little decorations for their desk at work or whatever. I used to do that when I had a normal job. I would put holiday decorations for each holiday on my desk. Not too much, just a little bit to make it kind of festive, you know. So I know there's other people like me that do that. Next item I sold was a Hope Chest style wood music box, and it was a Thorns music box, but there were some issues. It needed to be sanded down and refinished. The music box played kind of fast and it had issues, and I made notes for all the things. Anyway, it sold for $15. It had a key also for winding it. Sold for $15.30, and shipping was $9.52. I got, she asked some questions first, and I told her, I said, look, there's a bunch of issues. Did you read all the things? You know, I wanted to make sure. And they said that they've gotten into restoring the music boxes, so they know it's going to be a project. Anyway, again, $15.30 and $9.52 for shipping. The next item was another set of those blue and purple ombre soup mugs. They sold for $9.49, and so they sold for more than the first set did. And then shipping was $11.42. One of them I think was on sale. I was running a sale, or I made an offer. I can't remember, but anyway, one of them paid. One of the buyers paid $8 for 2 of them. The other one paid $9.49. Okay, now these next 3 lots, I think it's 3. Yeah, were some VHS movies that I got in an auction lot at one of the auction houses that I don't even like to go to anymore. But the other ones have not had a bunch of great stuff, so I had to break down and look at some lots at this other place. They start the lots out at $10. Half of them aren't even worth $10 for the stuff that's in them, and I don't like the people there either, so that's the other reason I don't like to do their auction. But I saw these movies, and the only reason I knew what these were is because in the early 90s, I used to go out to like industrial clubs where they were kind of underground. You had to know somebody that knew somebody, and then to find the warehouse where the club was or where they were having the DJ and everything, you would look for one of those giant barrels that had a fire in it, you know, in an alley or whatever. It's all very questionable, but it wasn't because we knew the DJ and we knew the people that were going, you know, or who were going to be there. You brought your own alcohol. I mean, it was all very strange, and there were mosh pits and the whole thing. So, but every once in a while, depending on where the thing was being held, you know, the night, they would have movies playing on the screens, and every once in a while they'd have these weird adult anime type, like, I think it's called hentai. I can't remember for sure, but the first time I saw it, I was like, what are we watching? Because it was really strange. It was like creatures attacking women, and it was very weird. Very, very strange, very weird. Anyway, these VHS tapes, most of the VHS tapes in this lot were these adult anime videos. And so I knew what they were. And no one else bid on them, or maybe one person put a bid. No, they didn't because it was $12 and change. So they started the lot at 10. I was the only one that bid. I got all of them. And I have sold, let's see, the first four I sold for $34, and that wasn't even one of the good ones. The next two, I sold two of them together for $22. And then there was a lot of three of another one. I'm not going to show you guys pictures. The covers are even a little questionable, so I just don't want to put it out there. The last three that I sold were sold for, oh no, there's another set too. So there were actually four sets that I've sold. Anyway, three that I sold for $55, and then two more that sold for $47.66. So, and the shipping on all of them were right around between $5 and $6 for shipping. So, you know, anyway, that just those four sales, let's see, that's 34, 22, so that's 56, another 55, so that's 111, and then 47, so basically $150. $150 I made on a $12, $13 lot of VHS tapes. So I'm just saying, that was a very good. That's how come I made any money this past 3 weeks, was because of those sales right there. Those made me the money. Yeah, VHS tapes, who knew, you know? And I got lucky because obviously no one else that was watching that auction knew what these tapes were, you know. And I only knew because I had weird friends at clubs that I went to in the 90s that played this crap on the wall. You didn't hear any of the sounds or any of the narration, you know, the audio, because the music, you know, the DJ was playing the music or whatever, but it was on the screen, you know, and I'm asking my guy friends, like, what the are we watching, you know, because it was really weird stuff. So, somebody has twisted imagination. Anyway, so if you happen to see, I wish I could, I don't want to show you guys that. You'll know if you see a VHS, you know. You'll know if it's dubbed, or if they've, because it's Japanese and then they dubbed it in English. And it's VHS tapes, you know, and I don't know if they have DVDs or not. I'm assuming they made DVDs, but they sell. Enough about that. I've got two more sales. Let's see, the next item I sold, and Avon doesn't sell, you know, but it came in. I bought a lot of serving plates, or like serving dish type things. And of course, this is the first one that sold out of all the ones that I got. I think there were 4 or 5 plates, trays, things, serving dishes. Anyway, this was a vintage Avon ruby red glass Cape Cod pie plate server dish, and it had some flea bites, and I made note of that, and I took photos of them. Anyway, it sold for $10. Shipping was $7.31 for that item. And then the last sale was the person that I mentioned in the last Ride With Me video, who she occasionally gets hold of me if she has seen some things at 99 cent only. She watches the 99 cent only shopping videos from people that go there and shop, and they share on YouTube, and she'll watch the videos, and if she sees something that she wants, she'll take screenshots and send them to me and see if I can find them for her. So anyway, I found some buckets for her, some little Easter buckets, and there were 6 total, 2 with purple lids, 4 with pink. Anyway, she paid $23 for those, and that included shipping. So to break everything down, my average sales price, and that is my net, divided by 33 items, works out to $11.79 per item. My net sales were $401.08, and that's my net, you know, not what eBay tries to tell you your sales were. My cost of goods were around $106. So my total profit was right around $290 for the past 3 weeks. Now, again, that is the only reason any of this happened is because of those VHS tapes that I sold, because that was like, what, $150 right there just for those tapes. You know, I would have had crap for sales the past 3 weeks if I hadn't gotten those VHS tapes. So those saved my butt. I've still got a few listed, but they aren't the popular ones. So I don't know. If they don't sell in the next month or so, I may try listing them on another website where people would look for stuff like this. So we will see. Anyway, I think that is it. That's it for my solds. I did a ride with me and I picked up some stuff at the auction yesterday. I will do a separate video for that. And I did go to a yard sale and I picked up some stuff that I think I overpaid, but you'll hear me talk about that in the ride with me, and I may share some photos of the stuff that I got in the next video. So I guess that's it. I hope you guys have a nice day off tomorrow if you're off, and I hope you have a good week, and I will see you guys very soon. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.